Shalom. Since we're getting into the life of Noah, I decided to start this story off. This chapter off with a discussion of the 7 laws of Noah. Now, apparently, these get um, discussed also in not the Gospels, but apparently in Acts, or in um, in the Christian Bible while talking about the early church. Um, Hopefully you'll find this enlightening. In Judaism, a key way of understanding Judaism is that, first of all, in Judaism, we pretty much believe everybody quote unquote goes to heaven, right? We believe that the vast majority of people are going to end up um, are going to end up in what we call Olam Haba, which is, the world as it's going to exist when the Messiah comes and things are made perfect, in the way that the Torah promises. And that's going to include everyone, not just Jews. So in Judaism, we have this concept of a ben Noach, of a Noahide, which is somebody who is not Jewish, but follows all of the things that Judaism requires of somebody who isn't Jewish, right? And so that apparently got discussed in Acts. You can look into the early church. I'm not going to talk too much about Christianity. I don't know that much about it. But so the Tosefta. So you can look up the laws of Noah. There's this Wikipedia article. I'm just going to go ahead and list the 7 laws. These are considered 7 categories of laws, right? Which everyone is expected, even people who are not Jewish, are expected to follow. And if they do, then in Judaism we consider them what's called a righteous Gentile, right? So somebody who is a ben Noach is a good person. That you don't have to be Jewish to be a good person, and these are people who certainly have a place in the world to come. So the 7 rules are not worshiping idols, not cursing God, establishing courts of justice, not committing murder, not committing acts of sexual immorality, not stealing, and not eating the flesh of a living animal. So I think the first 5 are pretty self-explanatory. The 5th one comes from the commandment that God gives to Adam and Eve to be fruitful and multiply. So that's where it's derived from. This website, I'm not endorsing the whole website. I don't know that much about it, but it apparently it has a good discussion, at least here, of where the various laws come from within the Bible. So this website is called Noahide.org, and there are actually there's a growing Noahide movement, which is people who don't want to be Jewish, but who want to live their life according to how Judaism prescribes for people who aren't Jewish. And so, there's all kinds of resources here you can look at if you have questions or whatever, including if you have questions about the early church. I will ask my friend who's a minister to come and answer them for you. But so these are the so if you want to look up the actual, the whole discussion, it's here. But yeah, so the laws of sexual immorality, it it is um, it is a requirement to do like God said, which is to be fruitful and multiply. Not doing things which are not towards that, including adultery, which is going against the order which the Bible sets for how you are to go about being fruitful and multiplying. The not stealing, the one thing I wanted to make clear, and I'm not sure if this is the reasoning of the early church, but one of the parts of not stealing includes not stealing things that the Bible talks about being specifically between Israel and God. And one of the examples of that is the Sabbath. As we go through the Bible, you will see it will say that the Sabbath is between me and you. The rabbis uh, have interpreted that to include stealing the Sabbath. Now, what exactly that means, I'm not going to go into, but it's possible that the early church, in keeping with that, that may be one of the reasons that early Christians had actually started, keeping the Sabbath on a Sunday as opposed to a Saturday, possibly. Talk to whoever you trust there. But so that's a part of stealing, is not stealing things like the Sabbath. Um, so this eating the flesh of a torn from a living animal. This is the one that makes people wonder. It comes from what we're actually. Are we gonna see that in this? We're going to see it in Genesis 9 when we get there, which is the commandment um, God gives to Noah not to eat a live animal. And this was apparently back before refrigeration, thousands of years ago. What people would actually do is, instead of killing an animal to eat it, they would um, they would chop off pieces and keep the animal alive, to prevent spoilage, which is one of the things Judaism prohibits for everyone. This is, we don't consider this just something, that's religious, holiness in nature. Being cruel to animals in Judaism is something we expect everybody not to do. And that was the particular and I've heard various rabbis talk about, for example, the people cook lobster while it's still alive. I'm sure you've seen the videos of people eating things alive on the internet. Cooking things alive, eating them alive. Um, this is one of the basics that Judaism expects of everyone. Don't be cruel. Kill the animal before you eat it. So these are the 7 rules, and under Judaism, anybody who decides to live under these 7 categories of laws, I'm not going to talk about the various details. You can go into it yourself. Is considered a righteous Gentile, and somebody who is treated differently in Jewish law than people who are what's considered idolaters. Okay, so you can look into that further if you would like. And it is possible that some version of this is this very idea of the Noahide is actually what the early church described when we're discussing when they were trying to decide how Christianity's relationship with people who weren't Jewish. And I hope that makes it a little bit more clear. In Judaism, there is the idea of Israel being God's chosen, and what exactly that means. I don't like how a lot of people think of it, as if we seem to think we're going to heaven and everybody else is going to hell. That is not how Judaism has ever viewed the world. We've always had the idea that we have our religion, which is for us in a special relationship with God, and other people also have their covenants with God, and that is special to them, which is one of the reasons Judaism doesn't evangelize. While we would like for everybody to believe, to follow at least these 7 rules, and we believe that these 7 categories of rules are the bare minimum for what it means to be a good human being. So it's not anything goes type thing. No, yeah, you have to. We do believe that there's such a thing as a bad Jew and a good Jew, and there's such a thing as a bad Gentile and a good Gentile, and that God rewards the people who are good, and God punishes those who are evil. And hopefully by learning God's word, we will all be within the good. Let's hope. I just noticed that there are that this series. I actually didn't expect very many people to be interested, but apparently I've gotten a few subscribers, and I've gotten people who are watching this, including a few apparently hate watchers, people who are not big fan of Jews, who are watching this, and hopefully this will be a blessing to all of us, including those people who maybe need, I believe, would benefit from knowing the God of Israel a lot better than they do. So let's get on with Genesis chapter 6. If you do have any questions, please feel free to put them in the comments. And we will try to take them from there, but mostly this is about the Word of God. So here we go. Genesis 6:1. Vayehi ki hechel ha'adam larov al pnei ha'adama uvanot yuldu lahem. Very interesting. Okay, so we've had this construction before many times. The conjunctive vav at the beginning, yehi, from to be, ki, which is the conjunction. I usually translate as because, hechel. So this, they are actually saying it's hefil. So they're saying that the hay is not part of the construction. I'm guessing they're saying that the root is chet lamed hay, which I can agree with that. Yeah, hefil techila, right? To begin, right? So there, or chal means to fall or to set, right? So hechel, right, began, they're translating. Ki hechel ha-adam, so that is the article ha-adam, meaning man, and we're no longer speaking about Adam himself, because obviously by this time I believe he has passed. La rov, so they're saying this is the prepositional lamed, and rov, they are saying is the in kal infinitive. I'm not sure I agree with this. I that's not how I was taught the infinitive. Um, larov. I would actually probably translate this to um, the lamed being the prepositional lamed with possibly the article because of the la, not le, rov, and hechel ha'adam larov. I would actually translate rov here as a being a noun. So man began to be many. That's how I would do it. I'm guessing the linguists have their reason for the morphology the way they did it. Al, this is the preposition with the ayin and not the aleph. Pene, so this is face in the plural in the construct, right? Panim, but here it's in the construct with adama. So pnei ha'adama is in construct form, smichut. So pene, ha being the article, always goes on the last noun of the construct. Just to review, if I haven't enough, so the smichut form, right, the construct form in the Hebrew is when when two or more when two or more nouns are put together to make a new formulation of what we would consider to be a single noun, right? So that's what's called smichut. It's called construct. So here, pnei ha'adama, right? So panim, face, is being used in the construct form with ha'adama to um, to define a new concept, the face of the earth, whatever the face of the earth means, right? So I would be very, very careful about the people who try to be more literal with the words in a construct. For example, Beit Sefer, the possibly the most famous, or Beit Hamikdash, right? The temple, right? Beit means house. Sefer means scroll or writing or book. Or Mikdash means a place of holiness. So Beit HaMikdash is a place of holiness. It is the temple, right? So we create new nouns in the Hebrew by putting two or more nouns in this smichut formation, okay? Construct form. Pnei hadama, right? So the face of the earth. U vanot, so the conjunctive of at the beginning, and vanot means daughters. So specifically, the Bible is talking about daughters. I wonder why. Okay, yuladu. So this is in. They're saying call passive perfect. I would see. This may be coming from the fact that leda, right? That the three-letter root is the hey at the end, which is not here. You'll do, right? So they're passive perfect. I'm gonna agree with them that here. So that yud is telling you that it's in the Hmm. You'll do. Maybe you want to look in the morphology and the concordance here. Were born. Um, it makes sense to me. But yeah, I actually now I'm wondering what Rashi's going to say about uvan vanot you'll do, especially because this is in the third person masculine plural, not in the feminine. You'll do lahem. We're born. Yeah, huh. We're born to them, and this lahem, right? It's in the third person masculine plural. You'll do lahem. Let's see how this is getting translated. Let's go to the King James. Oh, sorry, we are on the wrong chapter. Bereshit 6. Okay, Bereshit 6. And it came to pass when man began to multiply on the face of the earth, and daughters were born unto them. So, so that doesn't make a lot of sense to me because this ha'adam, ki hechel ha'adam, right? That is in the singular. And larov is also in the singular, right? So, up to you how you're going to do it. Let's see what NIV does. When human beings began to increase in number on the earth, and daughters were born to them. Interesting. Let's see how Chabad translates that. And it came to pass when man commenced to multiply upon the face of the earth, and daughters were born to them. So this is actually, there's no Rashis on this sentence. Oh well. So they are making it clear that it's a singular man, and it's saying daughters were born to them. Interesting. Who them may be. I would actually, see, King James says when men began to multiply, and that's clearly not plural in the Hebrew. Okay, I will leave you to puzzle that to yourself. Verse 2. Vayir'u b'nei ha'Elohim et benot ha'adam ki tovot hena vayikhu lahem nashim mikol asher bacharu. Oh, very interesting here. Okay, so conjunctive vav, yir'u, right? So this yud is telling you that it is in the imperfect. The hey at the end has absconded, and the vav at the end is telling you that it's in the third person masculine plural. So they saw b'nei ha'Elohim. And you'll notice I'm not changing this to Elohim, which I would do if we were talking about the name of God, because many times in the Bible there are places where we use the word Elohim, right, where we're not actually referring to God, right? We're not referring to the holy name. We are actually referring to powers, right? To the strong ones, to the people who were rulers, right? And this actually comes up many times in the Bible. So when we talk about B'nai Elohim, it's not as rare as people may think, especially in the Hebrew, that we talk about the sons of Elohim, and we're not really talking about the one God, right? And obviously that has all kinds of implications, and you can try to look all of this up. There's actually a scene, my friend who's the minister pointed out, where some people ask Jesus in the Gospels, about whether he is the Son of God, and he actually refers to one of the verses, I believe that one's from Psalms, where it says, "You are Bnei Elohim, you are the sons of God," right? And or Bnei Elim, you are the son, which is a similar idea. You are the sons of the powerful ones. So that this word here, at least the Jewish interpretation is that we are not actually referring to God when we talk about this. I believe we'll see when we get back to the Chabad and Rashi, but from my reading, we're not talking about God Himself there. Okay. Et is the direct object marker. Benot, right? The daughters. Ha-adam, right? So benot here is in the plural construct form, and it is written bemilui. It's written with the vav. Right. Benot ha-adam, the of man, but this is in the construct form, right? So it's not the man, it's the daughters of man, right? Ki, they're translating as that. I usually do because tovot, and here tov is written bechisaron. It's written not completely. It's written without the vav, but tovot in the meaning they were good, but the vav is missing. Okay, tovot, and they're translating that as beautiful. Henna. So henna here is actually the pronoun is being used as the as in place of the present form of the verb to be, which does not exist in the in the Hebrew, right? Tovot henna. So because they were good, vayikhu, right? So conjunctive vav, the yud telling you that it's in the imperfect, and lakahat we've had many times, to take, right? And this is in the third person masculine plural. Vayikhu lahem, to themselves. That makes sense, right? They're translating that to themselves. It's actually to them, right? Lahem. Nashim. So nashim is the plural of isha, of woman. Nashim meaning wives, women. Mi, kol. So prepositional mem meaning from, kol meaning all. Asher, they're translating as whomever, or usually it's translated as that. Baharu, okay? And this is in the call perfect third person plural, right? Baharu. So Bahar means to choose, right? So the root is bet, het, rish, okay? To choose from all that they chose. Let's see how King James does verse 2. That the sons of God saw the daughters of men, that they were fair, and they took them wives of all which they chose. Okay? NIV, the sons of God saw that the daughters of humans were beautiful, and they married any of them they chose. Yeah, that's fine. Let's see what. So Chabad also translates that here the word Elohim is not talking about God Himself. Okay, that the sons of the nobles, the rulers, right, saw the daughters of man when they were beautifying themselves. Okay, so Rashi is actually kitovot. He's translating Yudan. Right, he's saying that the reason why that it is written bechisaron is because they were beautifying themselves. That's what it's teaching, and apparently that comes from the Genesis Rabbah. And that's part of the reason I try to point out all the miluim and chisaron to you, because it is right. Jewish scholars, we pay attention to how every single word is written in the Bible, and kitovot. So we'll look at the Rashis here. When they were beautifying themselves, and they took for themselves wives from whomever they chose. Okay, so Rashi says on the sons of nobles, right? B'nei Elohim. Hebrew, the sons of the princes, and that's also what is written in the Targumim, in the translations to Aramaic. I think I mentioned the Targum Onkelos, right? Onkelos is the main translation. There's also Targum Yonatan. There are other Targumim apparently as well. I don't know them all. Onkelos is the one we generally refer to. And the judges. Another explanation, B'nai Elohim are the princes who go as messengers of the omnipresent. Okay, so he's saying it might be malachim, right? We might be talking about the angels. They too mingled with them. So that's from Pirkei de Rabbi Eliezer, which you can look that up, right? So, as he says, every Elohim in Scripture is an expression of authority, and the following proves it in Exodus 4:16. Va'ata tihyeh lo le'Elohim, and you shall be to him as a Lord, right? And also 7:1, see, I have made you a Lord. Re'eh nataticha Elohim, right? So, and Tovot, Hebrew without, it's written without the Vav. Said Rabbi Yudan, it is written Tabat, right, instead of Tovot. Thus, it can be read Tabat, meaning to beautify, right? So instead of Tovot, it can be read Tabat with as the verb tet be bet hey, I guess it would be the verb, or maybe with a tough at the end. When they would beautify her, adorned to enter the nuptial canopy, a noble would enter and have relations with her first. Aha! So they would take them. That's from the Genesis Rabbah. And from whomever they chose. So Rashi is explaining that that's actually is talking about their sin, in that they would just choose whomever they would take and choose as wives, whomever, and maybe even whatever. Okay, verse 3. Vayomer Havaya lo yadon ruchi ba'adam le'olam b'shagam hu basar v'hayu yamav mea ve'esrim shana. Okay, so Vayomer, we've had many times before, conjunctive vav, the yud telling it's an imperfect, the root is aleph mem resh, to say. Havaya is the tetragrammaton, the ineffable name. Lo, not, right? We've had before. Yadon, right? So the yud there telling you that it's in the imperfect, and this is actually written bemilui. It's written with a vav there. And they're translating as strive. Lo yadon. Usually, din, right? We're talking about judgment. Yom Hadin is the day of judgment. Lo yadon ruhi, my spirit, right? Ruach we've had before, and the yud at the end makes it first person singular, mine, right? Ruhi. Ba'adam. So it's the prepositional bet, and the vocalization tells us that there is the article there. So ba'adam, upon the man, I would actually translate. They're saying with man. Le'olam. So that is the prepositional lamed. Olam here is it is the word world, but it is actually written bechisaron. It's written without the vav, and I believe, if I remember correctly, that is explained because helem, right, means to hide, right? And in Judaism, we do talk a lot about how the world is used as a way of hiding divinity. So I mean, that goes into a whole theological discussion we're not going to have here. But so olam there is written bechisaron. It's written without the vav. Beshagam, right? And here, okay, so okay, so it is the prepositional bet. The shin here is they're saying pronoun relative, right? I personally thought if I were keeping notes, I would just call that a prepositional shin, right? Um, that, right? I would call it a prepositional shin. They're saying that it's a pronoun relative. Okay, what exactly that means. Gam, right? We've had before. Also, right? It's a conjunction. Bashagam, right? Which is a somewhat unique construction there, right? Let's see how many times. Well, so the concordance is just doing gam. It's not doing bishegam. I have to wonder how many times bishegam shows up in that with those four particular letters together like that. Okay, bishegam. In that it was also, I would probably translate who, and here the pronoun is being used as a verb, like we discussed before. There is no present tense of the verb in Hebrew, so here the pronoun is being used as the noun. I mean the verb. Sorry, basar means flesh, right? We've had that before. Vehayu, so conjunctive vav, and hayu here, it is a form of the, it's in the perfect, but so the vav at the beginning of the perfect sometimes flips it, and I'm surprised that they're not calling this the other type of vav. There's the conjunctive vav, and then there's so when we say vehayu, oftentimes we're meaning and it shall be, even though it looks like and it was. Vehayu yamav, right? So this yamim in the construct form, yamav, the vav meaning the third person masculine singular, and his days shall be mea, meaning 100, ve'esrim, so conjunctive vav, eser means 10, esrim means 20. So that's how we say 20 in Hebrew is esrim. This may be the first time we've had 20. I don't remember. 120 years. And anybody who is familiar with Jewish tradition knows that Moses lived to be 120, and when we give blessings, when we say happy birthday, we say Ad Me'ah V'Esrim, you should live to be 120, which is considered the outer extent of what a person should need to complete their mission here on earth. Although nowadays people are actually living, so much more, but here it's saying, here he shall live to be 120. So that's in Judaism, that's considered the perfect length that your life should be is 120 years. Okay? So, verse 3, King James, and the Lord said, my spirit shall not always strive with man, for that he also is flesh, yet his days shall be 120 years. Okay? Let's see what NIV says. There's two notes here. Then the Lord said, my spirit will not contend with humans forever, for they are mortal. Their days will be 120 years. Let's look at the notes here. So first note, or my spirit will not remain in. And they're saying corrupt. For verse 3, they're saying that the word mortal should be corrupt. I'm not exactly sure. Oh, I guess they're saying basar means corrupt? I'm done. Huh. Let's see how Chabad translates this. And the Lord said, let my spirit not quarrel forever concerning man, because he is also flesh. Okay? Ruchi ba'adam le'olam. Beshegam hu basar, because he is so forever. Yeah, so le'olam, they're doing forever, and yadon is being translated as to quarrel, and his days shall be 120 years. I'm really interested in the Rashis here, and I hope you will indulge me. Let my spirit not quarrel forever. Let my spirit not complain and quarrel because of the man, forever, for a long time. Behold, my spirit is quarreling. Okay, so because he is also flesh, beshegam, right? So Rashi is going to explain that beshegam to us, right? Because this is also in him that he is only flesh. And nevertheless, he does not subordinate himself before me. What if he were fire or a hard substance? How much greater would his insert? So he's translating, even though Beshagam hu basar, even though he is man, right? Similar to this, this is in Judges 5:7. Until I, Devorah, arose, shekamti. So I guess you can see, Kamoshekamti. He's saying how, he's explaining the she there, that you she'ata, as if it were written she'ata. So to beshegam is like beshegam. Okay? And his days shall be until 120. I will delay my wrath towards him, but if they do not repent, I will bring a flood upon them. Now, if you ask, from the time that Japhet was born until the flood are only 100 years, I will answer that there is no sequence earlier or later events in the Torah. This decree has already been issued 20 years before Noah begot children, and so we find in Seder Olam. So Seder Olam is a book which explains, I believe it may be from the Gaonim, it may be a Rishon, I'm not sure, which explains exactly how things are set up when you're trying to figure out the times. You can't just assume that because something is mentioned later in the Bible, it occurred later in the Bible. That fails many times over. There are many Agadic midrashim on the words lo yadon, but this is its clear, simple explanation, right? So Rashi always is bringing us the most simple explanation. There are other explanations. And like we say, Shivim Panim La Torah, there are 70 faces to the Bible. Okay. Not that any of them disagree with each other. They are 70 faces of the same Bible. They explain the same thing. Okay. 6:4. הנפילים היו בארץ בימים ההם, וגם אחרי כן אשר יבואו בני האלוהים אל בנות האדם, וילדו להם המה הגיבורים, אשר מעולם אנשי השם. And there is the petucha, there is an open gap there in the Bible. So very interesting sentence. Ha noflim. So hey is the article. Nofel, right, shows up in the Bible many times. The root nun pe lamed means to fall. And here it's nephilim, ha nephilim, the ones who have fallen. And the yud mem at the end making that masculine plural. Hayu were, right? That's the verb to be in the perfect third person plural. Ba'aretz, so prepositional bet with the article. Aretz, land, we've had many times. Ba'yamim. Again, prepositional bet with the article, yamim, in the days. And here, yamim, it's with two yuds, no vav. Ba yamim hahem, in those days, right? So this is a form that we see a lot in the Bible, right? Ba yamim hahem, in those days. The pronoun is being used as the verb to be, but with the article hahem, yamim hahem shows up a lot in the Bible, and it connotes in those days. By yamim hahem, ve gam, so conjunctive vav, gam meaning also, the conjunction we've had before. Acharei chen, so acharei we've had before, it means after. Chen meaning yes or so or that. Acharei chen, or here it means after this. Asher, they're translating as when, the pronoun relative they call it. Yavou, right? So the yud is telling you it's in the imperfect. The bet and the aleph are part of the root, and the third radical has absconded, and the vav at the end is telling you that it's a third person masculine plural. Asher yavou bene, right? So this is banim in the construct form, right? Banim, it means sons, but this is in the construct form. Bene ha-Elohim, right? So sons of the powerful ones, right? Here again, like in the previous verse, it's that word is not referring to God, at least in the Jewish tradition. El, so this is the preposition with the aleph, and so if you are paying very close attention here, it is a little bit interesting that the preposition here is el with the aleph, because that is also a word that can refer to God. But here it's pretty clear that it's not. But I would not be surprised if there are not people. I actually would be surprised if there are not people who look at that more closely in a different manner. Benot, right? And that is in the construct with the vav written completely. Benot, meaning daughters. Benot ha'adam, right? So benot ha'adam, it's in construct form. the hey, the article goes on the second word, vayaladu, vayaldu, sorry. So conjunctive vav, and they're saying that this is in the conjunctive perfect. Vayaldu. They gave birth, they bore children, right? The vav at the end makes it third person. They're saying common plural. It is the masculine is the common, but so this is not referring to the daughters of man. It's actually referring to the Nephilim, whoever they are, right? Vayaldu lahem, and they gave birth. They caused, um, yeah, to them lahem, which is also third person masculine plural. Hema, again, this is the pronoun third person masculine plural is being used as the verb to be. Hema, they are, those were, right? So that's where they get the were out, because this pronoun is being used as the verb to be. Ha giborim. So the article and then gever, right? The root here is gimel bet resh, right? Which we refer to men and strength, right? A champion is called a gibor, right? And that is many times in the Bible. Ha giborim, asher, that, me'olam. So prepositional mem, and this time olam is written bemilui. It's written completely with the vav. So were always, maybe, but they're translating of old. Me'olam, asher me'olam, anshe Hashem, right? So anshe is anashim in the construct form. So nashim is women, anashim is men. Okay, anshe, and this does show up many times. Anshe Hashem, right? So this is in the construct form. Anshe is in the construct form. Shem meaning name. Hashem with the article. So this is men of name, which they're translating men of renown. I would say it actually is kind of a double entendre in the Hebrew, because when we talk about the name, right, when we say men of the name, literally we mean people who have important names, who are well known, but also that also usually at least refers to people who are people of the name, meaning the name of the Lord. So people who are people of God. And there is that in the scroll itself, that this punctuation is telling you that there's an open space in the a petucha in the scroll. Okay, verse 4, King James. There were giants, so they're translating Nephilim as giants in the earth in those days, and also after that, when the sons of God came in unto the daughters of men, and they bare children to them, the same became mighty men, which were of old, men of renown. Okay, let's see what's NIV does that. The Nephilim were on the earth in those days, and also afterward, when the sons of God went to the daughters of humans and had children by them. They were the heroes of old, men of renown. Okay, let's see how Chabad translates that. The Nephilim were on the earth in those days, and also afterward, when the sons of the nobles would come to the daughters of man, and they would bear for them. They are the mighty men who were of old, the men of renown. Okay? So Rashi here says they were called Nephilim because ki nafalu vehipilu, right, et haolam. Shenafalu vehipilu et haolam, because they fell, and nafalu meaning they fell, vehipilu. You see, this is actually in the hifil, and because the ayin is silent, they caused the world to fall, right, and caused the world to fall. And in the Hebrew language, it means giants. The Targum Yonatan, which is one of the translations I mentioned, to the Aramaic, and Pirkei de Rabbi Eliezer are translated as giants in the same way as the King James. In those days, it's talking about the time of Enosh and the children of Cain. And also afterwards, although they had seen the destruction of the generation of Enosh, when the ocean rose up and inundated a third of the world, the generation of the flood did not humble themselves to learn from them. And this comes from the Mechilta of Yitro and the Sifrei Ekev. So you can look. We're not going to go too deeply into the Rashis, but I would like to hear. When would come, they, the mothers, would bear giants like them, the fathers. Asher Yavo. Okay, so that's how Rashi. Mighty men, Hagiborim, right? And this comes from, very interesting. To rebel against the omnipresent. They were, Anshe Hashem, Hebrew, those who were called by name, Irad, Nachoel, Metushael, who were so named because of their destruction, for they were wiped out. Oh, so here he's, okay, so he's, I guess this is from the Genesis Rabbah, Midrash Rabbah, which is saying that, okay, so Anshe Hashem, actually, we're talking about the people who were named earlier, and it goes on to explain where these names came from, which we discussed earlier. Very interesting. And you can look into that further if you would like. Okay, verse 5. Vayar Havaya ki rabba ra'at ha'adam ba'aretz v'chol yetzer machshavot libo rak ra kol hayom. Oh, that is very sad. So we have the conjunctive vav, yar, right, and saw, right. It's in the imperfect, and the hey at the end has absconded. It's resh aleph hey to see. We've had many times. The tetragrammaton, ki, because, for, rabbah, right, and this is the adjective is in the feminine singular because it's going off ra'ah, right, the evil, ra'ah, and ra'at hadam, why ra'at is in the feminine is up to you, but so this is saying evil in the feminine specifically, I believe. The hey at the end turns into a taf because it is in smichut, is in the construct form with ha'adam, with the article ha and man, right? Ra'at ha'adam, with the evil of men, the wickedness of men. Ba'aretz, so it is the prepositional bet with the article, aretz, land, we've had many times. Conjunctive vav, whole, meaning every, all. Yetzer. This may be the first time we've had yetzer. So, obviously, this is one of those words which I think many different people are going to say different things about, because we have so yetzer. Okay, so tsar means to form, also means narrowness, like Mitzrayim. So actually, the word Yetzer, we can go into very in depth. It is a word that shows up many times in the Bible in different forms. What exactly it means. I highly recommend if you're keeping track of particular words, you may want to keep track of this word Yetzer, right? The intent, the wishes. Yetzer, usually, oftentimes when we talk about Yetzer in the Hebrew, we're actually talking about a person's evil inclination. Okay, and I won't go too much into it, but this is a word for your concordance. Machshavot, right? So this is, we may have had machshava before. The root is het shin bet, right? And it means to think about, to pay attention to, so it comes in many forms. It's used many times. Machshava is a thought, right? It is, and here machshavot, it's in the plural, but without the vav. It's written bechisaron, without the vav. Machshavot libo, and if it wasn't vocalized as it is, I would actually probably have guessed machshevet libo, right? I would have said it's in the construct. They're actually saying it is in the plural construct, which I guess, yeah, I could understand machshavot libo, of his heart, right? Yetzer machshavot. So Yetzer machshavat libo. They're saying that this is all in construct. Chol Yetzer machshavot libo. They're actually saying it's all four in one construction, which I can agree with. Actually, yes, I think is makes sense to do that. Rak. This may be the first time we've had that adverb rak. Only. Rak, resh, kof. I believe this is the first time we've seen it. Is it? 6-5. It's the first time we've had only. And you can look it up in your concordance. It will show up more. But I think the reason rak is being used here is actually because it kind of alliterates with ra, right? So this is evil, this is bad in the masculine, whereas earlier we had ra'at, we had evil in the feminine. So make of that what you will. Kol ha-yom. Kol meaning all, in the construct here. Ha-yom, the article, and yom is written b'milui, it's written with the vav completely here. So let's see what King James does with verse 5. And God saw that the wickedness of man was great in the earth, and that every imagination of the thoughts of his heart was only evil continually. That's not bad. Let's see what NIV does. Verse 5. The Lord saw how great the wickedness of the human race had become on the earth, and that every inclination of the thoughts of the human heart was only evil all the time. Okay? Let's see what Chabad does it. And the Lord saw that the evil of man was great in the earth, and every imagination of his heart was only evil all the time. Right? So, kol hayom, while it literally means all of the day, oftentimes when we say kol hayom, we mean all of the time. Okay, let's go on to verse 6. Vayinachem havaya ki asa et ha'adam ba'aretz vayitatzev el libo. Okay, interesting. So, we have the conjunctive vav, right? The yud here is probably telling you that it's in the imperfect. So, the root here is at the very least het mem, and possibly nun het mem. So they're saying it's in the nifal. So, yeah, exactly what Yenahem, and we have had similar to this root before. They're translating as he was sorry. I would actually usually say Yenahem means, and this is related to the word Noah, right? The name Noah, Yenahem. I think when the Bible explained it earlier, you can look it up there. And God, it actually, I mean, it kind of means that he was consoled, but they're translating and he was sorry. I'm interested to see how the translations do that, do with that verb. Vayinachem havaya ki, because that. Asa, right, the most simple form of this verb to make, right? And it's not bria, it's not to create like what we had at the very beginning, right? So it's not. So actually, Jewish sources differentiate between the various forms of creation, and this ayin sin he is a lower form of creation than bet resh aleph or yetzer to form. Okay. Et, direct object marker, ha-adam, so the article and then man, ba-aretz, so it is the prepositional bet with the article, aretz, land, we've had many times, va-yit'atzev, so this is the conjunctive vav, and the yud tells you that it is in the imperfect, and that Taf tells you that this is the hitpa'el, this is the reflexive, right? And God, so it's bon etzev, we've had several times. Ayin tzadek bet, we've had many times, to be uncomfortable, to be unhappy, to be maybe even angry, and God became, I would probably translate this as became upset, but it's translating, and he was grieved. El, it's the preposition with the aleph, not the ayin. Libo, his heart. Okay, so lev means heart, and libo, the vav at the end, is the third person masculine singular. Let's see what King James does. Verse 6, and it repented the Lord that he had made man on the earth, and it grieved him at his heart. So they're translating vayinachem to repent. Let's see what NIV does. The Lord regretted that he had made human beings on the earth, and his heart was deeply troubled. Right, so they're saying yityatzev, right? Because it's in the hitpael, it's in the inflexive. They're translating that as deeply, right? Okay, and let's see what Chabad does with that. And the Lord regretted that he had made man upon the earth, and he became grieved in his heart. And if you are interested, you can read the Rashis there. They are available. Okay. Verse 7, Vayomer Havaya emche et ha'adam asher barati me'al pnei ha'adama me'adam ad behema ad remes ve'ad of hashamayim ki nihamti ki asitim. Okay, so Vayomer, we've had many times. Conjunctive Vav, Yud telling you that it's imperfect. Amar, Aleph Mem Resh, to say. Havaya is the tetragrammaton. Emhe, right? And so this Aleph here is telling you that it's in the imperfect first person singular. And the root is Mem Het He, which means to erase, and it can also mean to when somebody complains, we say hu moche, right? He doesn't like what came before. Emhe, I will erase. I would have translated it, but they're translating it as destroy. There are other words which mean destroy. Et, direct object marker. Ha-adam with the article man. Asher, so pronoun relative, they're calling it. Asher barati, so the root is the bet resh aleph, and here it's in the call perfect first person singular. Barati, I created. Me'al, so prepositional mem, and al is the preposition with the ayin, not aleph. Pnei ha'adama, so we've had this construction before. It is panim in the construct smichut with ha'adama, with the land. I translate that usually clay, but you see the alliteration, right? It's using pnei ha'adama, and it's using Adam several times to refer to man. So, Pnei ha'adama, me Adam, so prepositional mem, Adam meaning man, ad, we've had before, meaning to or until. And I said pay attention to this ad. They're actually translating it as an and. I'm not sure I would do it. I would translate it and. I would definitely do it to. Behema, meaning like behemoth, right? We've had that before, beast. And these are in the singular. Adam is in the singular. Behema is in the singular. Ad, to remes, right? We had kol haremes haromeset, right? The resh mem sin, to creep. Ve'ad, so conjunctive vav, and then ad again. Of, meaning birds, here written with the vav in milui completely. Hashamayim, and that's in the construct form with sky, right? The birds of the sky. The article hey, shamayim, we've had many times, meaning sky. Ki, for nihamti, right? And they're saying it's in the Nifal perfect. I can agree with that. But veyinahem, right? We've had that's the same verb, I would say, being used there. Nihamti, that the tough yud at the end, it makes it puts it in the perfect first person singular. Ki, because asitim, right? So if it was just asiti, right? So it's la'asot here. Ein sin hey. The hey has absconded. Asitim. That yud, I'm not sure if it always shows up when we're talking about asiti. I made. That may be a form of milui written completely with the yud. Asitim. So the mem at the end makes it third person masculine plural, right? I made them. Asiti means I made, right? In the perfect first person singular. Asitim means I made them. Okay, let's see what King James does with verse 7. And the Lord said, I will destroy man whom I have created from the earth, from the face of the earth, both man and beast, and the creeping thing and the foul fowls of the earth, the air, for it repenteth me that I have made them. Okay? And NIV, so the Lord said, I will wipe from the face of the earth. I like that better. The human race I have created, and with them the animals, the birds, and the creatures that move along the ground, for I regret that I have made them. Yeah, I like the NIV better. Let's look at Chabad. And the Lord said, I will blot out man, whom I created, from upon the face of the earth, from man to cattle, to creeping thing, to the fowl of the heavens, for I regret that I made them. Yeah, no surprise, I would go with the Chabad there. Verse 8. Okay. V'Noach matza chen be'enei Havaya, one of the most famous verses in the Bible. Especially it actually shows up in our prayers a lot, as a hopeful thing we say that God. Well, let's translate it. So conjunctive vav, Noach is referring to his name now. Matzah, right? Mem tzaddik aleph is the verb to find, right? In the call perfect, most simple form of it. Hen, so het nun. This may be the first time we've had the word grace. Hen, exactly what hen means. It's actually a common woman's name in Hebrew. And you can look that up. This is a word that has a particular meaning. I would concordance hen, grace there. Be'enei havaya. So prepositional bet, einayim, right, would be eyes, and here it's in the construct form. The eyes of God. It's the tetragrammaton, right? And there is a petucha, there is an open space in the scroll there. Let's see what King James does for verse 8. But, so they translate the vav as but. Noah found grace in the eyes of the Lord, right? And NIV similarly, but Noah found favor in the eyes of the Lord. So they translate hen as favor, and Chabad similarly, but Noah found favor in the eyes of the Lord. Okay? Verse 9. Ele toldot Noach, Noach ish tzaddik tamim haya bedorotav, et ha-Elohim hithalech Noach. Okay. Ele, meaning these. Okay. Toldot, I think we've had this same construction before. Toldot, meaning the generations, right? When we talked about Adam, every time we have generations, Ele Toldot. These are the generations. It's in the construct form. Noah, of Noah, right? And so Noah, and then it repeats Noah, right? And I believe Rashi here says, and many rabbinic sources say, Noah's greatest accomplishment was that he made himself into a proper person in that generation that he was. Noah, ish, right, means man. Tzaddik. So this may be the first time we've had tzaddik, right? A tzaddik is a righteous person. Comes from tzaddik daled qof. Tzedek meaning justice, right? So it's usually righteous man, just man, right? Tzaddik tamim this may be the first time we've had tamim. So tam means full, complete. And it shows up many times in the Bible, especially Yaakov Ishtam. We talk about the patriarch Jacob as Ishtam. We'll have before, but Tamim is, although it seems like it may be in the plural, actually Tam and Tamim, they're used similarly. They're both used for in the singular. Haya was, so this is the verb to be in the past. Bet dorotav, so prepositional bet, and then dorotav. It is not written with all the vavs. So I guess you could say it's bechisaron. It's written without the vavs. Bedorotav, in his generations, I would say, plural. Yeah, Dorotav, masculine, singular. Yeah, so it's plural generations, and his Dorotav. Right, that yud is telling you that it's well, is it? I'm just gonna leave that there. Et, right? And this is the direct object marker. It's being used possibly here as a preposition, right? We've said before that sometimes et it means with. Ha Elokim, right? So this is the article, and this time it is referring to God. Hithalech. So this is in the perfect of the hitpa'el. We've had the verb to walk, to go, and actually we've had it in the hitpa'el before in the reflexive. The root here is hey lamed chaf. Hithalech Noah, right? And he walked with God, and that's in the reflexive. Let's see what King James does, verse 9. These are the generations of Noah. Noah was a just man and perfect in his generations, and Noah walked with God. Okay. NIV, this is the account of Noah and his family. Okay, they're translating in his generations as with his family. Okay. Noah was a righteous man, blameless among the people of his time, and he walked faithfully. So they're translating the fact that it's in the reflexive as faithfully, and he walked faithfully with God. Let's see what Chabad does. These are the generations of Noah. Noah was a righteous man. He was perfect in his generations. Noah walked with God. And there are the Rashis there, which also explain that why walked here is in okay. You can read it there. I'm not gonna I am not going to do every Rashi because we would be here forever, and I think not everyone's interested in Rashi. So Rashi is there if you would like. Verse 10, Vayoled Noach shlosha vanim et Shem et Cham ve'et Yafet. Okay, pretty simple. Conjunctive vav, Yoled, right? The yud telling you that it's in an imperfect. They're saying that this is in the hefil. Cause to be born, Yoled. We've had Yoled many times. Noach is his name. Shlosha is the masculine of 3. Vanim, sons, written bebilui, written completely with the yud there. Et is the direct object marker. Shem being his name, which also means name. Et, direct object marker. Ham, and we had the name Ham before. The et, so conjunctive vav, the direct object marker, Yafet. Okay. King James, verse 10, and Noah begat 3 sons, Shem, Ham, and Yafet. And NIV, Noah had 3 sons, Shem, Ham, and Yafet. And Chabad, and Noah begot 3 sons, Shem, Ham, and Yafet. Okay? Sometimes they all agree. That was a pretty simple sentence. V'tishachet haaretz lifnei ha'elokim v'timale haaretz Hamas. This is actually a pretty famous verse. V'tishachet haaretz lifnei ha'elokim. Okay, so conjunctive vav, and the tough here is telling you that it's in the imperfect of the nif'al, the tishachet. So the verb here is shin, het, tet. Okay? And the reason it's the tough is because it's in the feminine, and it's going off of man, or it would be yishachet, right? Haaretz, article Aretz, land, we've been doing. Lifnei ha-Elokim. So the prepositional lamed, pnei, meaning face. Lifnei means in front of, right? So it's a very common preposition. Lifnei ha-Elokim, of God. Vetimalet, so conjunctive vav. I should have said the articles there, right? Ha Elokim. But it's in smichut, it's one construct, lifnei ha Elokim, right? Before God. Vatimale, conjunctive vav, and again the verb is mem lamed aleph, which means to be filled with. We've had that before. Here it's in the feminine of the imperfect nif'al. It became filled, was filled. Haaretz, aretz being feminine, that's why it's vetimale. He is the article there. Hamas. So what exactly Hamas means is up to you. Het mem sin. They're translating here as violence. If I remember correctly, the rabbis actually translate that as corruption, Hamas. But it's actually interesting. I mean, anybody who keeps track of what's going on in the in current events realizes that Hamas is the name of some not very good people who are doing things. And sometimes you read things like this in the Bible and it makes you think we are in interesting times. Hopefully good times. Very good times. Okay, let's look at verse 11, King James. The earth also was corrupt before God, and the earth was filled with violence. Okay? NIV, now the earth was corrupt in God's sight, and was full of violence. I'm not sure why they decided to do lifnei in God's sight. I guess they want to say it's in the face of God, but okay. Verse 11, now the earth was corrupt before God, and the Lord became full, and the earth became full of robbery. Rashi is saying Tishachet is the same as Deuteronomy 4. So if you want to look for that to destroy Tishachet haaretz, and the land was corrupted, became destroyed. You can look it up there. But he's saying it's the same as Deuteronomy 4. And like I said, yeah, the Hamas, the rabbis in the Talmud, Sanhedrin 108a, explained that people were stealing from each other. So he actually says that comes from the book of Jonah. So there it explains that it's from the book of Jonah 3:8. Okay, verse 12. So you can look up the word Hamas in Jonah as well. Okay, verse 12. Vayar Elokim et haaretz vehine nishchata ki hishchit kol basar et darko al haaretz. Very interesting. And that is a stuma. There is a closed space in the scroll. So conjunctive vav. Yar, it's in the imperfect. Ra'ev, to see, we've had many times before. Elokim, right? We're talking about God here. Et, direct object marker. Haaretz. So the he is the article. Aretz is land. Vehine. So conjunctive vav and hine we've had before is the interjection behold. Right? We've had that before, and it comes up before. It comes up again. We'll have that many times. Nishchata. So you can look in the concordance if you want. Nishchata is in the nif'al perfect. So the root here is shin het he, like we had before, right? Nishchata became shachat, however you want to translate that, corrupt. And it's in the feminine because land is feminine. Ki hishchit, so ki because is the conjunction. Hishchit, right? It's in the hifil, that yud there and the he at the beginning in the perfect, caused to be corrupted, right? So we're seeing the same root being used many times in different ways. Hishchit kol basar, because all flesh had caused corruption. Et, direct object marker, what darko. Derech, we've had before, is a way. Darko, its way, right? Kol basar, all flesh had hishchit, had corrupted, caused to be corrupt, its way, darko. Al, so this is the preposition with the ayin, not aleph. Haaretz, article, and eretz, land, we've had many times before with the stuma, with the closed gap in the scroll. Let's look at King James. And God looked upon the earth, and behold, it was corrupt. For all flesh had corrupted his way upon the earth. I would have probably done its way. Let's see what NIV does. God saw how corrupt the earth had become, for all the people on earth had corrupted their ways. Okay. Yeah. Not as literal as I would have done it. And God saw the earth, and behold, it had become corrupted, for all flesh had corrupted its way on the earth. Yeah, as usual, I will go with the Chabad. Okay, verse 13. Vayomer Elokim lenoach etz kol basar ba lefanai ki mal'ah haaretz chamas mipnehem vehineni mashchitam et haaretz. Okay, interesting. Conjunctive vav, yud imperfect. This is amar, aleph memresh, to say. Ha'elokim. There's no article there. So God said, it's Shem Elokud, le Noach, so prepositional lamed, Noach being the proper name. Ketz, and I think we've had ketz before, meaning the end of tzaddik. Kol, olive, basar, flesh, we've had before. Ba, So this is in the it's in the participle. So this is in the it's in the present form because all flesh comes lefanai. So prepositional lamed panim, right, is face, right? But this is lefanai, before me, to my face, before me. Ki, because. Mal'ah, and we've had maleh before, to fill, mem lamed aleph, and it's the hey at the end telling you it's in the feminine because it's referring to haaretz, right? That's the article, and land. Hamas, right? We just discussed Hamas, meaning they're translating as violence. Mipnehem. This is the prepositional mem, panim, we write face, but here of theirs, right? Hem is in the third person masculine plural, right? So before them, they're translating through them, because of them, I think is fine. They filled the earth. Vehineni, so conjunctive vav, and this is hine, the interjection we were just talking about, but hineni is how you say, here I am, behold me, right? Vehineni, so that hineni means I am here, right? Vehineni, behold I am here. Mashchitam, right? And this is in the participle, in the present form of the hif'il, right? The causative mashchitam. The mem is actually the hey in the hif'il in the present turns into a mem. So shin het taf, right? So we've been talking about hashchata, right? To corrupt. So now God is saying, as they did, so he's using the same. So this is one of the reasons I am so adamant that it's important to use the Hebrew, is because you would never be able to translate that this is the same root here as when we were talking about people destroying the land, right? Causing destruction and corruption on that. Mashchitam et, they're saying it's the preposition, it's the direct object marker, sometimes meaning with, haaretz. So that's the article and land. Okay, let's see what King James has to say. And God said unto Noah, the end of all flesh is come before me, for the earth is filled with violence through them, and behold, I will destroy them with the earth. Okay, yeah, I could go with that. NIV. So God said to Noah, I am going to put an end to all people. Right? So, that's a very different way of translating. I'm not sure I like that. For the earth is filled with violence because of them. I am surely going to destroy both them and the earth. Yeah, I don't like that translation. Sorry, NIV, not how I would do it. Let's look at Chabad. And God said to Noah, the end of all flesh has come before me, for the earth has become full of robbery because of them. And behold, I am destroying them from the earth. Right? And that's what Rashi explains here, that here et is means from, as it's also used in Exodus 9:29. Kitzeti et ha'ir, when I leave the city, right? And in 1 Kings 15, chala et raglav, he was stricken from his feet, right? So you can also look in the Rashi for yourself if you like. But let's go on. Next verse. Aseh lecha tevat atze gofer, binim ta'aseh et hateva, vekafarta otah mibait umichutz bakofer. Okay. So, aseh, right? So this is in the command form of to make. Aseh, right? Command. Ayin sin he. Lecha, for yourselves, right? So that's the prepositional lamed, and the chaf there is second person masculine singular. Tevat, so teva is an arc. So taf bet hey, but here the hey turns into a taf because it's in the construct form, right? Tevat atze gofer, right? So this is all in construction. Etzim means it's the plural of etz of wood, right? Tevat atze gofer, right? An arc of the wood of whatever gofer means, right? Binim. So they're translating that as rooms. I'm not familiar with that word, with this word. I'm not sure. I'm not sure. Binim tase. You shall make binim, and we'll see what that means. I'm wondering. Binim ta'aseh, right? So this is in the command form. You shall make. Well, okay, it's not in the command. It's in the imperfect. It's in the future form, which is also used as a command. The command form is just aseh. Ta'aseh is in the imperfect. It's a very similar, but it's different. And yeah, et, the preposition, right? It's so. I mean, that's the direct object marker. I don't know why they did preposition here. Et hateva. That's surprising me. I don't know why they did the morphology that way. Hateva, it's the article, and teva, like we had before, but it's not in the construct form. That's why the hey stays at it as it is. Vechafarta, right? So this is the conjunctive vav, right? And chafarta, so chaf pei resh is the root here, okay? Which actually can mean to atone, right? We say Yom Kippur, same word, right? Same root here. Vechafarta, and you shall so cover. They're saying chafarta, and so chafarta means you have in the past, but the vav at the beginning kind of flips that on it and makes it future. Okay, so vav sometimes does that when so chafarta means you did cover, and vechafarta means you will cover, right? In the future. So it's a way of constructing. Ota, right? So it's the direct object marker, but here it's the hey says it, meaning the feminine, referring to the arc. Mi bait umichutz. So the mem is the prepositional mem. Bait means house, right? But here mi bait umichutz means from the inside and the outside, right? Bait mean, well, I guess, yeah. I mean, this is a common way of saying inside and outside, and I'm sure it shows up a lot of times. So we'll see. Mi bait umichutz. So from the inside, conjunctive vav, prepositional mem, and chutz means outside, right? From the inside and outside. Ba kofer. So so this is the prepositional bet with the article, and kofer right? So they're translating it as pitch. I would say covering maybe. So it's the same, right? V'chafarta b'kofer, right? You shall cover it with cover. You see that repetition. V'chafarta b'kofer. And it is a bit repetitive. So let's see what King James says. Make thee an ark of gopher wood. Rooms shalt thou make in the ark, and shalt pitch it within and without with pitch. Right? So they're making sure to use the same word twice, like the Hebrew does. Let's see what the verse 14. NIV. So make yourself an ark of cypress wood, right? They're translating gopher as cypress. Make rooms in it and coat it with pitch inside and out. Okay, so let's look at the root. The meaning of the Hebrew for this word is uncertain, right? Gopher, what exactly gopher is. Verse 14. Let's look at Chabad. Make for yourself an ark of gopher wood. You shall make the ark with compartments, and you shall caulk it both inside and outside with pitch. Okay? I'm interested in what Rashi says about Atse Gopher, gopher wood. That is its name. Now, why this species, right? Because of sulfur, gofrit, with which it was decreed upon them to be blotted out. And that's from the Bereshit Rabbati. I guess we'll see gofrit later. Binim, right? Compartments. Individual dwellings for each domestic animal and wild beast. Okay. I guess that's and and you can read the Kofer why it's that way. Yeah, he's okay. Not going to spend too much time on the Rashis. They are available if you would like. Okay, 15. Veze asher ta'aseh ota 300 אמה אורך הטבע 50 אמה רוחבה ו30 אמה קומתה. Okay, so we have the conjunctive vav. Ze, so the pronoun here is kind of being used to tell you that is, like I said before, the present of the verb. Asher, right? So they're calling pronoun relative, translating it as how. Veze asher, and this is what I would translate. Ta'aseh, right? So the ta is in the imperfect in the future of asot. We've had many times. Ein sin he. Ota. So the direct object marker, making it into the feminine because we're talking about teva here. So that's in the feminine. Shalosh, it's in me'ot. Amma. So shalosh is in the feminine because amma is in the feminine. So amma is a cubit. What exactly an amma is, right? It's a unit of measurement used in biblical times. Shlosh me'ot, and here hundreds, right? 300. Shlosh is written bechisaron. I'm not sure if it's always pretty much. And me'ot is bemilui, which also it's almost always pretty much. Amma, so 300 amma. Orech, right? Orech being length, and I think we've had orech before. You can use your concordance if you want. Hateva, right? So the article and teva being ark, we've had before. Chamishim amah rochba. So chamesh means 5, chamishim means 50, amah being the cubit. Rochba, rechev means wide, right? And people will recognize that from the name Rachav, right? The name of the innkeeper at the beginning of Joshua. Rochba, its width, right? Because we're talking about teva, which is feminine. Ushloshim, so conjunctive vav. Shalosh means 3, shloshim means 30. Ama, cubits. Gomata, right? So, gam, right? We've had goma, to rise, to stand. We've had several times. So this is gof mem, and it's written bemilui. It's written with a vav. I'm not sure it always is. But Qoma is height, how high, right? Qomata is her height, right? We're talking about the teva here. So let's see what King James does with verse 15. And this is the fashion which thou shalt make it of. The length of the ark shall be 300 cubits, the breadth of it 50 cubits, and the height of it 30 cubits. Okay? This is how you are to build it. The ark is to be 300 cubits long, 50 cubits wide, and 30 cubits high. Let's look at the Dalet. That is about 450 feet long, 75 feet wide, and 45 feet high, or about 135 meters long, 23 meters wide, and 14 meters high. So I don't know where they got their measurement for an amma from, but that's how they're translating it, I guess. Okay. Yeah, so let's see. And this is the size you shall make it, 300 cubits the length of the ark, 50 cubits its breadth, and 30 cubits its height. And this is a more literal translation, which is what I personally prefer. 6:16. Tzohar ta'aseh lateva ve'el ama techalena milemala ufetach hateva batzida tasim tachtiyim shnim ushlishim ta'aseha. Okay. Tasim tachtiim shniim shlishim ta'aseha. Okay, so this. I mean, this verse. Usually, we spend most of our time talking about the tzohar. What exactly tzohar means, and you can use the concordance however you like, but tzohar translated as a window, whatever the tzohar is, right? It is something meaning bright, right? Because tzaharayim is how we refer to to noon, right? The day, the light part of the day. So tzohar ta'aseh, right? So the taf here is telling you it's in the future you shall make. We've had aseh many times. La teva. So this is the prepositional lamed with the article for the teva, right? Ark. Ve'el. So conjunctive vav. The el is the preposition with the aleph, not the ayin. Amma. Meaning cubit, techalena. Okay, so this is the future form of kaleh, right? Remember when we had that discussion, we said Vayichulu hashamayim, right? We're finished when God finished the heavens and the earth, right? And this is similarly the same verb, right? Techalena, and you shall finish it, right? In a similar way, and I mentioned at the time that it also has a meaning of to consume, right? Techalena, the nun hey at the end is telling you that it's third person feminine singular, right? Talking about the teva, techalena. Ama techalena, a cubit you shall. Techalena milemala. So this is the prepositional mem, prepositional lamed. Ma'al ayin lamed he means up. Mala, I mean, they're saying it's the adverb mem. So it's like you have the prepositional mem twice, right? Milemala. Although we use this, I mean, it's not a unique word, at least not in modern Hebrew certainly. Milemala, from above. You shall finish it a cubit. So that Sohar is supposed to be a cubit. Okay, we'll see. You shall finish it from above. Ufetach. So conjunctive vav, pe taf chet, meaning to open. Ufetach, and the opening, and this is in the construct. Ufetach hateva, the opening of. So petach also we often use to mean door. It literally means to open, right? Fetach hateva, the opening of the ark. That's the article hey, which in the construct goes on the second one. Hateva bet tzid'ah. So that is the prepositional bet. Said tzid'ah. It's tzad, right? We talked about side before, right? Bet tzid'ah, in its side. So the hey is talking about the teva, right? The feminine, to her side. So in the side of the teva. Tasim, lasum, we've had before, to put. Sin mem, sin yud mem, or sin vav mem is the root here. The taf, putting it in the future and the imperfect. Tasim, you shall put. Tachtit, right? Betzida, tasim, you shall put. So this is what kind of I was wondering what exactly it's saying. Tachtiim, shniim, ushlishim ta'aseha. So tachtiim. So okay, things that are lower, things that are second, and like that's the conjunctive vav. Things which are third, you shall make, right? So it is a apparently. I mean, it's obviously. I'm guessing, during biblical times, somebody who would sail would refer to the first deck, the second deck, and the third deck as tachtiim, shniim, ushlishim, but literally it means the that which is under, that which is second, that which is third. Ta'aseha, you shall make for it, right? As again, aseh, and this is in the imperfect. You shall make for ta'aseha, for her, right? Okay. Let's see what King James does with verse 16. A window shalt thou make to the ark, and in a cubit shalt thou finish it above, And the door of the ark shalt thou set in the side thereof, with lower, second, and third stories shalt thou make it. So the stories, they are imputing in there, right? It doesn't actually say that, but I'm fine with that. That makes sense. Okay, verse 16. Make a roof for it. So they're translating Shohar as roof. I'm not sure I like that. In fact, I don't like that. Leaving below the roof an opening 1 cubit high all around. Put a door in the side of the ark and make lower, middle, and upper decks. I'm not a big fan of this translation. Let's look at E. That is about 18 inches. So they're saying an amma is 18 inches, a foot and a half. There are different rabbinic things. I believe 18 inches is actually the smallest we use. I think a lot of rabbis actually use 24 inches. It's somewhere around there. But, okay. Or about 45 centimeters. The meaning of the Hebrew for this clause is uncertain. Which clause are they talking about? Yeah, okay. So you can look at it in the Hebrew. Okay. So you shall make a skylight, and I think that's what Rashi is explaining from the Genesis Rabbah, right? For you shall make a skylight for the ark, and to a cubit you shall finish it to the top, and the entrance of the ark you shall place in its side. You shall make it with bottom compartments. And see, this is why I love Chabad, right? They're actually telling you, look, it doesn't actually say compartments. It says bottom, second story, and third story. And we're reading into it the compartments. And this is the type of, I prefer more literalism in the translation, but that's me. Okay. It can be more stilted, though, when you're just trying to read it, right? Okay. ואני הנני מביא את המבול מים על הארץ לשחט כל בשר אשר בו רוח חיים מתחת השמיים כל אשר בארץ יגבה. Okay. So, conjunctive vav, ani is one of the two ways we find the word I. Ani is pretty common, but and in certain places it's actually anochi. Especially in the Ten Commandments, starts off anochi, right? So you could say that anochi is a bit more formal than ani. But this is the short form, ve'ani, and I. Hineni. So we had hineni before. Behold, here I am. Right. This is here I am. Not just hine, not just behold. Mevi. Right. So this is the hifil of bet aleph hey. The hey is missing. And it's in the present form. That's why the mem is turning into the hey is turning into a mem in the hineni mevi. I am bringing. Okay. Et direct object marker ha mabul. So the article mabul is translated as flood. You can look it up. You can look it up in the concordance. Exactly. I mean, yeah. Look up in Hamabul Mayim, right? So a flood of water, Mayim. Al, this is the preposition with the ayin, not aleph. Haaretz, article, hey, aretz being land. Leshachet, right? So this is in the infinitive, and you'll notice that this is the same root that we've been using for corruption and destruction, right? Which started with men causing the land to be destroyed, right? Leshachet, to destroy. Kol, all. Basar, flesh. Asher, so they call that pronoun relative, right? That, which. Bo, right? So this is the prepositional bet, but with the third person masculine singular, so bo, in it. Ruach, right? So this is the same, sometimes translated as breath or ghost or soul, however you want to translate ruach. Chaim. So, and this is in the construct, right? Ruach chaim. Um, the breath of life, right? The spirit of life. Ruach chaim. Mi tahat, so prepositional mem, tahat meaning underneath, below. Mi tahat ha shamayim, so article and shamayim, heaven, we've had many times. Kol, every, all, every, right? Asher, pronoun relative, they call it. Ba'aretz, so conjunctive, prepositional bet with the article, land, ba'aretz. So the yud here is telling you that it's in the perfect, and the root is gimel vav ayin. This may be the first time we've had that root, gava. Yeah, it is. And you can look in your concordance there. It is to perish. It is one of the ways we say to die. But actually here, give up the ghost. I actually like that better because it seems that it does seem to go more with. So you can look it up in your concordance there. To be empty, they're saying in the Arabic. Okay, you can look at the concordance there. So let's see what King James does with verse 17. And behold, I, even I. I like that. I like how they did that. And behold, I, even I, do bring a flood of waters upon the earth to destroy all flesh, wherein is the breath of life from under heaven, and everything that is in the earth shall die. Yeah, I actually like the King James Version. Okay. NIV. I am going to bring floodwaters on the earth to destroy all life under the heavens, every creature that has the breath of life in it, everything on earth shall perish. King James seems better to me. Let's look at Chabad. And I, behold, I am bringing the flood, water upon the earth, to destroy all flesh in which there is the spirit of life from beneath the heavens. All that is upon the earth will perish. See, I like this. Not very surprising. I am a fan of the Chabad translation. Okay, let's go. Verse 18. V'hakimoti et briti itach, uvata el hateva, ata uvanecha ve'ishtecha, uneshe vanecha itach. Very interesting. Very interesting. They are translating it as the masculine singular, and I would not say masculine. This is actually the feminine. So let's go through it. So we have the conjunctive vav, and this is actually in the hifil of kama, right? Qof mem hey. at least of mem, right? To stand, right? But here, first of all, it's written bechisaron. It's written without the yud. There's no yud here, and usually in the hifil you would have a yud here. Okay, the hakimoti, and I established, I guess, or actually, so they have it in the past tense. Because of the vav, I would actually put it in the future tense. I would say, and I will establish. That's how I would have. I will set up, right? That's how I would translate it. Et is the direct object marker. Briti, so brit is a covenant, and it's usually written with the yud bemilui fully. I don't know if it's always written fully with the yud. Briti, my covenant, and I shall establish my covenant. Itach. So we have the direct object marker, but here it's in the feminine, right? The second person feminine singular. I don't know why itcha would be the masculine. Why it is in the feminine, maybe Rashi will say, we'll look, but uvata, so conjunctive vav, and bata means you came, right? It's in the past second person masculine singular, you came, but because of the vav before it, it becomes you shall go, right? El, the preposition with the aleph, not ayin, ha teva. So that is the article, and teva meaning ark. We've had many times. Ata is the second person masculine singular, and it is definitely in the masculine. Ata, you. Vanecha, so the conjunctive vav. Vanim would be sons. Vanecha is your sons, masculine singular, right? Vanecha, ve'ishtecha. So conjunctive vav, isha means woman. Here, the hey turns into a tough because it's your wife, second person masculine singular, right? Ve'ishtecha, and your wife. Uneshe, so conjunctive vav, nashim meaning wives, but here it's in the construct form. Neshe vanecha, the wives of your son, right? Vanim meaning sons, and here vanecha, your sons. Again, second person masculine singular. Itach, with you, and it's in the feminine. It's the second person feminine singular. I don't know why they put the morphology that way, but let's do the King James, and then maybe Rashi will clear this up for us. Verse 18. But with thee will I establish my covenant, and thou shalt come into the ark, thou and thy sons, and thy wife, and thy sons' wives with thee. Okay? NIV. But I will establish my covenant with you, and you will enter the ark, you and your sons, and your wife, and your sons' wives with you. Okay? Let's look here. Verse 18. And I will set up my covenant with you, and you shall come into the ark, you and your sons, and your wife, and your sons' wives with you. Let's see what Rashi. So Rashi's not explaining why those are in the feminine. This is one of the things, like, there are certain commentaries which talk about this stuff more than Rashi does. I would be interested in seeing what the Or HaChaim says here. Probably, I would guess the Or HaChaim clears it up. That's my guess, but you can look that up if you like. Okay, verse 19. Umikol hachai mikol basar shnayim mikol tavi el hateva lehachayot itach zachar unekeva yihyu. Okay? So, conjunctive vav, prepositional mem, kol meaning all, ha chai. Right? So the hey here, it's the article, kol ha chai, it's we're in a smichut, we are in a constructed form. Chai meaning alive, all that is what living. Mikol, so prepositional mem, kol meaning all in the construct form, basar, flesh, shnayim, right, and this is in the masculine of two, shnayim, two, mikol, prepositional mem, kol meaning all of, tavi, so this is in the imperfect hefil, right, that yud is telling you that it's in the hefil, and it's, so the root here is bet aleph hey. The hey has absconded as it often does. Tavi, you shall bring, right? You shall bring. It's in the imperfect, not the command. Tavi, el, right? So the preposition with the aleph, not ayin. Ha teva. So article, and teva being ark, as we've had many times. Lehachayot, right? So this is the hifil of hayim, right? Chaya, right? Chet yud hey, I would say, is the root there. Lehachayot, to cause to be alive, right? Itach, again, this is the direct object marker, which is being used as the preposition with here, but it's in the feminine again. Zachar, like we've had male, unekeva, conjunctive vav, nekeva, again, like we've had before, zachar, unekeva, yihyu, they shall be, right? You shall bring them, two, you shall bring them, and they're going to be male and female, okay? They shall be. It's in the imperfect. The yud is telling you it's in the imperfect, and this is the third person masculine plural, right? Verse 19, and every living thing of all flesh, two of every sort, shalt thou bring into the ark to keep them alive with thee. They shall be male and female. Okay, NIV 19, you are to bring into the ark two of all living creatures, male and female, to keep them alive with you. Okay, Chabad, verse 19, and all living things of all flesh, two of each you shall bring into the ark to preserve alive with you. They shall be male and female. And Rashi is, interesting Rashi you may want to look at. Verse 20, because you'll see, I mean, it says Mikol 3 times, right? So this appears to be a very short verse in the Hebrew. I mean, in English translation, but it's so repetitious. Umikol hachai, mikol basar, shnayim, mikol tavi, el hateva, la'achayot itach, zachar unekeva yihyu. 3 times it says of all. And I think that's why Rashi says what he does, which is to make sure to bring everything with you. Okay, let's look at verse 20. Okay. Meha'of leminehu umin habehema lemina mikol remes ha'adama shnayim mikol yavou elecha lehachayot. Okay? So, prepositional mem. The he is the article. Of is written b'milui, birds is written completely, but it's in the singular, right? but it's so prepositional lamed meaning kind, right? But it's minehu. They're saying masculine singular, meha'of leminehu. Yeah, I guess. Yeah, of is masculine singular. Yeah, okay. Leminehu. Umin, right? So conjunctive vav it's preposition up from, right? And it is the same word. Like we keep on saying meaning kind, and of, and these words are related, right? Umin habehema, right? So article behema, behemoth, right? Animal we've had before. It's in the singular. Lemina, so prepositional lamed meaning kind, and the hey telling you it's going according to the animal. Mikol, again prepositional mem, kol meaning every. Remes, we've had several times, creeping things. Ha'adama, so it's in the construct with adama, right? And that's what the article is telling you. Remes ha'adama, the creeping things of the earth. Leminehu, again, prepositional lamed, mean, leminehu, same as before, we've had leminehu, of its kind. Shnaim, so this is in the masculine, shnaim, shtayim would be the feminine. Shnaim, mikol, prepositional mem, every, of everything. Mikol, I don't know why they necessarily put kind in there. Yavou, so this they're saying is, yes, it is in the kal, imperfect. The yud there is in the imperfect. The vav is third person masculine plural, and the hey has absconded. It is the root bet aleph hey to come. Yavou, they shall come. Elecha, so this is the preposition with the aleph, el. Elecha, to you, and this time we are in the masculine, elecha. Lehachayot, right? So the infinitive, for you to, infinitive hif'il, causative, right? So that you shall cause it to live, and that is bemilui vav. There's a vav in the lehachayot, which we didn't have in the previous verse. So verse 19, it's the same word, lahachayot, to keep them alive, right? But in verse 19, it was written bechisaron, it was written without the vav, and in verse 20, it's written bemilui, it's written with the vav. Okay? So if you're paying attention to that, verse 20 in King James, of fowls after their kind, and of cattle after their kind, of every creeping thing of the earth after his kind, two of every sort shall come unto thee to keep them alive. I don't like that translation. Okay, two of every kind of bird, of every kind of animal, and of every kind of creature that moves along the earth will come to you to be kept alive. I like that better. Let's see what Chabad does with it. Of the fowl after its kind, and of the animals after their kind, of every creeping thing upon the earth, the ground after its kind, two of each shall come to you to preserve alive. No surprise. I like the Chabad translation best. Okay. 621. Va'ata kach lecha mikol ma'achal asher ya'achel ve'asafta elecha ve'chaya lecha ve'lahem le'ochla. Okay, very interesting. So, conjunctive vav, ata, you, second person, masculine singular. Kach is in the command form, take, right? We talked about lakachat, the hey at the end has absconded. Kach means to take, right? And we've had that before. Lecha, to yourself, right? Lecha, prepositional lamed, and the chaf is second person masculine singular again. Mikol, prepositional mem, kol meaning all. Ma'achal. So, right, we've talked ma'achal and ochla before, right? When we were talking about the fruits in Adam, ma'achal, that which is eaten, right? Ma'achal, asher, that ye'achel. So this is nif'al imperfect of achel. So you'll notice we're repeating the same root over and over again, right? Aleph, chaf, lamed, and ye'achel, right? Ma'achal asher ye'achel, food that is eaten. Ve'asafta, the root there being aleph, samech, pei, right? So to gather. It's one of the forms of to gather. You can look in the concordance for other ones. And so asafta means you have taken, but the vav at the beginning, the conjunctive vav there, makes it you shall take. And you shall gather, right? Elecha, upon yourself, right? This is the preposition el with the aleph, not the ayin. And we're all of these are in the masculine. So we've gone vehaya, and again, so haya means and it was vehaya, right? The conjunctive vav is flipping it. It shall be vehaya lecha, to you, velahem. So conjunctive vav, lamed, the prepositional lamed, hem, them, right? It's in the masculine plural. Velahem le'ochla. So prepositional lamed, ochla, it means to eat, right? So you saw we used the verb ochel several times in many different ways, and you can compare those with when we were talking about the Garden of Eden. So verse 21, you are to take every kind of food that is to be eaten and store it away as food for you and for them. Oh, sorry, that I did the NIV first. Let's do the King James. And take thou unto thee of all food that is eaten, and thou shalt gather it to thee, and it shall be for food for thee and for them. Yeah, I kind of like the King James better. Let's see what Chabad did with verse 21. And you take for yourself of every food that is eaten, and gather it into you, and it shall be for you and for them to eat. Yeah, I prefer the Chabad. So, last verse of this chapter. Vayas Noach kechol asher tziv'a oto Elohim ken asa. And there is a stuma. There is a closed space in the scroll there. So again, conjunctive vav, and the yud would tell you that it's in the imperfect, right? So it's in the future, right? Aseh, to do, the hey has absconded. It's ayin sin hey. Veya'as, and shall. And it's so the vav flips it, right? So it becomes in the past tense, and he did, right? Ya'as means shall do. Vayas means and he did. Noach is his name. Kechol, so prepositional kaf here. Chol, olive. Asher, they call it the pronoun relative. That. Siva, right? So this is they're calling it PL perfect. Yeah, I guess that's right. Yeah, tziva, of tzava. Tzadik vav hey is the root here, right? Mitzvah of mitzaveh, right? To command. Um, Oto, right? So it's direct object marker et with the vav third person masculine singular referring to Noah. Elokim Shem Elokut, Ken, so yes, Asa, right? And this is the Kal perfect of to do, to make, right? Ein Sin He, and there is a space, a closed space, a stuma in the scroll at the end of verse 22. King James, thus did Noah, according to all that God commanded him, so did he. Okay. NIV, Noah did everything just as God commanded him. Yeah, I like that. Let's see. And Chabad, and Noah did according to all that God had commanded him, so he did. Yep, and as always, as usual, I like the Chabad translation there, and hopefully a this has been a blessing to you and a way for you to understand the Bible as it says in Zephaniah 3, chapter 9, Ki az epoch el amin, safa berura, likro chulam beshem havaya, le'ovdo shem echad, and so I shall turn over all the nations, a clear language to call all of them in the name of God and to serve him with one shoulder together. Shalom.